There was once a very funny movie out. I don't know if you have seen it, but it was called Vaya con Dios. Had a Spanish title, but was made in Germany. And it was about a Catholic splinter group which had focused on chanting the names of the Lord rather than the institutional big power mongering, generally known, typical for Christian establishing themselves. But this group was only focusing on holy names and chanting, and they were persecuted for preaching this. So it was a funny movement, but when we as devotees of Krishna see that movie, we smile and says, yes, that's what we do. We focus on the chanting of the holy names. The chanting of the holy names is the essence of how to get out of the forces of illusion. Because lust, anger, greed, envy, madness, they are the enemies to everybody in this world. Not only to the aspiring bhaktas, to the aspiring devotee of any kind. They are all fighting the same demon inside of us, which is making us inclined to ignore the call for higher commitment. So when I read it from the scriptures here, from Srimad Bhagavatam, now this shloka comes from Srimad Bhagavatam and it makes references to Satya Loka, Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga. So it's making a reference to a very, very old human history. So we heard from our spiritual man that Dana, Yajna and Tapa, these three should never be abandoned in spiritual life. Means generosity, being part of the solution. We're hardworking. Dana. Then Tapa, to be austere and to do everything possible so that your ideals can be fulfilled. And Yajna, sacrifice. Should never stop doing sacrifice. That sacrifice is Sankirtan Yajna today. That is the most recommended Yajna. Chanting the holy names of the Lord and spreading this spirit of love around. So these three, they are focused and they are promoted amongst our spiritual teachers. Now here, when we hear the Srimad Bhagavatam 5,000 years ago giving this statement, that which has been previously achieved by great sages in big endeavors, now in this age, simply by chanting the names, I read it again to you, that which could only be attained in Satya Yuga by meditating upon Vishnu without interruption, in Treta Yuga by performing ceremonial fire sacrifices, and Dwapara Yuga by extravagant ritual worship of the deity form of the Lord, is all attainable in Kali Yuga by performing Sri Hari Kirtan. So here the question of Hari Kirtan really comes into focus. What is Hari Kirtan? Where is Hari Kirtan? And where is Krishna Kirtan? Thus, the answer is very easy. He's sitting here. But this Hari Kirtan, what is that Hari Kirtan? How does it work? Srila Bhakti Rakshana Maharaj gave a very, very lucid explanation of Hari Kirtan or Krishna Smaran, remembering Krishna and doing Hari Kirtan. He said, there's japa. Personally praying to the Lord from the depths of your heart. This is very intense. Then he says there's bhajan, where we come together and sing the glories of the Lord as written by great acharyas. Then he said there's kirtan. Kirtan means mridanga, kartans, standing up, dancing, going anywhere, having a big Sankirtan festival. He said, then the next step is speaking about Krishna. When you give a class about Krishna, that's another type of kirtan. I'm also doing kirtan right now in front of you. And this kirtan requires very intense concentration and mercy to be delivered to me so that I may speak something which makes sense. And I'm highly tested. In other words, I have many monitors in front of me who have their own upbringing, they are Brahmins of their own, and if I start talking any nonsense, which is not Hari Kirtan, they'll say, wait a second, why did you say that? Sorry, that doesn't make sense. By the way you talk, you're offending and you're not encouraging. I mean, any type of thing you say in a class which is wrong, it will be objected by, most likely, unless the whole audience is asleep and they don't notice that you speak something wrong. But if the Brahmins are listening, like Shukadeva Goswami was talking, and even Vyasadeva was listening, and Narada was sitting there, all of them, they were delighted to hear this young chap speaking the Bhagavatam and enlightening everybody. So this is speaking Hari Kirtan is a very, very, very traditional process. Naimisharanya and so many other places. It's an ongoing process. Nashta prayeshu abadishu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati utamashloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. I mean, it says like there, right there. Daily we should listen to the Bhagavatam. Daily. And render service unto the pure devotee. That's another thing. It's not only that you listen and then you go home and do your nonsense, your selfishness. No, there has to be a life of dedication to the service of the pure devotee. You see, the scriptures, they are so distinctively clear about certain things. And if you do it right, you get the right result. If you do wrong, you get the wrong result, right? So, so this is, you're hearing the Bhagavatam every day, the Hari Kirtan, and render service under pure devotee. You have a goal. What is that goal? If you are brahmachari, your goal is 100% service. If you're grihasta, you're doing lesser amount of service, but there must be service. Otherwise, it's very difficult. Your spiritual life is in danger if there's no more service. So, and then if you're a sannyasi again, sannyasi is thank you, 100% service. Private life? No. Do you have any private banking for you? No. Do you have anything for you personally? No. Why? Because Hari Kirtan is my life. Everything, every temple is my life. Why should I worry about myself? And true. The other day was something very funny happened in India. We were leaving the ministry of yoga and Ayush. We were leaving it with a group of 7 devotees. And we were there, we had an interview with the minister of Ayurveda and Yoga. He was a very nice man, Sripad Naik. Very nice man, and very visionary. And because there's a lot of work going on, and also we are going to work into Vrindavan, making Ayush Gram in cooperation with them, with villages where the Ayurveda principles are becoming an essential part again. So, and yoga as well. Anyhow, so we came out and our taxi was gone. We had come there with the taxi, the group, we were very busy that day, but the taxi was gone. We called the taxi, no answer. So here we were. At that moment, a car came by and looked at us, and the driver looked at me and said, Hare Krishna? And I said, yes, Hare Krishna. He stopped, and it took around 5 minutes of a little bit exchange, and all the 7 of us were inside of his car. And he took us to his clinic. He was a doctor, and he's the personal advisor of the Minister of Ayurveda. And he took us to his clinic, and he spent the rest of the day with us until he took us finally to our other program we had. And this Dr. Naval is his name. He then started giving treatments to Sadhu Maharaj, to Gunagrahi Maharaj, to Akuti, very serious cancer patients, and he's a cancer expert, especially of prostate cancer. And all that happened just like because we were looking what to do now. So it's so surprising that you don't need anything if you're really in the service of Krishna. As brahmachari and sannyasi, you don't have to worry. Just work for the goal, and that's it. The rest will come. And if you're grihastha, of course, you have to make a very strong plan how to make your social interaction with society useful and functionable for you and for society. Of course you have to do that. And there's plenty of versions and varieties how it can be done. With a good spirit of working, you'll almost find something. So that is the only one thing I wanted to say. So this depending on Krishna is a very, very soft and very rewarding way of living. And what you come across, amazing. You come across the most amazing, amazing things. But you have your own integrity. You have to be who you are, you say, and try to do Hari Kirtan. That's the whole thing, Hari Kirtan. You have to be the living person of Hari Kirtan by having books of Prabhupada and others, by having music like Paramatma. Paramatma is such a wonderful example of Sankirtan because he always carries everything. He's always present and keeping everything at hand which people may need. I love it so much that when he brings out prasadam, CDs, lectures, he is like a walking Vaishnava Loibazar supermarket, you know. And with his charming way of being, he provides people, and at least he sells something. I mean, he has maintained his family by doing so, which I consider very admirable. And that doesn't make him lesser than anybody else. I would think in a way it makes him superior to most, because he's always at the service of humanity. Whereas in many jobs you do, you can't even say you're a devotee of Krishna sometimes. You cannot, you're restricted. So that's not so nice. If I'm as a devotee, I'm restricted. I can't say who I am, what I believe in and all that. Anyhow, it's mercy. Everyone can find his place in this turmoil of this modern world. How are we going to make my living? How do I do that? Anyhow, I was describing the Kirtan, so that when you give a class, you speak about Krishna. That is such a wonderful way of doing Kirtan. And that's part of the Sankirtan movement. And when Halada goes and speaks in the United Religious Efforts, that's also Hari Kirtan. It's maybe a little bit different Hari Kirtan than you talk when you're sitting in front of devotees in the temple, but it's Hari Kirtan. It's Hari Kirtan, and the people are trying to help others, directly or indirectly. They must always speak Hari Kirtan. If you're in Oida therapy, that is Hari Kirtan. It is subdued, but it's Hari Kirtan. It's all about glorifying the Lord who is keeping us alive and giving us meaning in our life. So Hari Kirtan is of that kind. So the very specific thing of the lecture giving is that it is the greatest test. It's really the greatest test, and it's very rewarding test. Like when I sit down and I give a class, I feel so honored by my Lord and Master Srila Prabhupada that I can sit here on behalf of him. I feel so honored and so grateful. Why he give me this chance to sit every day and to talk on his behalf? Why? He could have picked somebody else more qualified, but they're telling me, go preach, go preach, go preach. Yesterday we preached a little bit in Stargard. Yes, and before we know it, a new member of our family was in our family. Totally unexpected, it was not planned. The people in Stargard didn't know we were arriving even a few hours before that. And so Krishna has so many ways and things of doing things, so incredible. So what do? We have to have a great, and nowadays what you need is an intensive communication network also. Just because we are spread out. So there is even Kirtan on Facebook going on. There's Kirtan going on in WhatsApp broadcasting groups. There is Kirtan going on in Skype classes going on right now. There's some people, they're giving Skype classes from Canary Islands and are being listened to all the way to Australia. People have worked it out. The Parikshit Prabhu, he's in Arica, Chile, and from there he's giving Bhagavad Gita classes to many people around the world who have joined his Skype class. So, my God, Hari Kirtan has a great amount of varieties. So, this is also there. Then Srila Maharaj said, and there's one even more higher Kirtan than that. And that is writing about Krishna. Because when you write something, you pen down on a piece of paper, what is it you're going to say about Guru Shastra Sadhu Vakya Chitete Guriya Aikya? It will be held as an evidence against you if you write anything wrong. So you better make sure your concentration on Hari Kirtan when you write something is of the top quality, the top intensity, right? That is what has to be done. That is what has to be somehow or other accomplished. What else can we do? Hari Kirtan, Krishna Kirtan, by the way, what happened to our production of Little Krishna in Polish?
Nothing. It's in YouTube free. It's free, available in YouTube, and it's finished.
You put it in YouTube?
Not somewhere. In some channel for kids movies.
For kids movie? And are many Polish people seeing it?
I need to check. I don't know. I can check.
I think we have to make some movement. You made so much beautiful sacrifice for this, and this is a very touching. Whoever sees the Little Krishna movie, he will be very touched, because devotees have made this to reach out to the children of the world.
150,000. 150,000.
Haribol, Haribol, Haribol. You see, Krishna Kirtan, your sacrifice has been worth it. If 150,000 Polish people have watched this Little Krishna movie, yes, that's a very good success. But you didn't put it on there, no? In some modern way. Krishna's making his own decisions sometimes. And all the segments are there? 3 segments, they're all? Wow, congratulations. Makes me extremely happy. So, sometimes we don't know for who we are working. So, anyhow, it just came to my mind because that was also Hari Kirtan. Extremely Hari Kirtan. What this week? Any child who watches this, he becomes Krishnaized. No? And if he then gets good education, good association, he can become a devotee from this. So I'm very, very happy. I think you should come out now with a Facebook page of these and get people to comment there. Make it like a social information so that other people who have not seen it will be drawn towards it, pointed to it, and you get some credit of being the producer and giving some interview, why you produced this in Polish, wow, what happened, yeah, I saw this, my friends in India, they made that, and I felt that the Polish people, they need to get to feel who is that little Krishna. I made it and I tried to put it in the public television, but they refused to show it for whatever sectarian spirit they are harboring. But now, fortunately on YouTube, I see that the Polish people are taking and listening, and I wish that every Polish child may see the beauty of Lord Krishna's pastimes as he came to this world 5,000 years ago to conquer our hearts. And like that, if you talk like this, then it becomes more of an issue, and more people go there, no? That's Hari Kirtan. So in this way, Hari Kirtan has many ways. I mean, some people make videos like this, the Polish version of the little Krishna. That is a video, and it took a lot of money also, because Krishna Kirtan not only made subtitles, but he had it dubbed with Polish voices. And that makes it like a real quality production, with Polish voices. Can you imagine? I don't think in German they have this little Krishna with German voices. So, very amazing things. These things are the victory of the Sankirtan movement. And that's what devotees are supposed to do. They're meant to gain victories in the battle against Maya for the Sankirtan movement, for the benefit of the conditioned souls who are suffering in this world. That is the announcement. And that if you work for this, you get the benefit of meditation, sacrifices, or deity worship of other yugas. That, when you are involved in the Hari Kirtan movement, then you will get that. Of course, chanting is the essence. Chanting yourself. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Chanting means giving your heart, giving your life into Krishna's hands. Oh my Lord, please let me be an instrument of your love.
Maharaj?
Yes. What's that?
That's not ready.
What? That's your art.
Yes.
Very nice. What happened to our devotees from Czech? They left yesterday?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, they were there.
So sorry. Such nice devotees, no?
Yes.
We were very, very happy. Now we have another group of wonderful devotees in Prague, which is how many hours from here? 4 hours. 4 hours drive. So keep in contact. Visit them. Go. Visit them. Hello, here I am. Give classes there. Tie them with us. And bring them back. So, anyhow, this is what happened. So I wish you all very good success. I wish you all successful participation in the Sankirtan movement, because that will be your success. And I mentioned the Kiva as being part of the Harinama Sankirtan, and I guarantee you it is. I've witnessed it myself together with Gurudeva Atulananda. We listen to the ancient tribes go inside the Kiva and praying for humanity, praying for Mother Earth, praying for the welfare of all, praying for understanding each other. So beautiful prayers we heard. And we spoke to them how much sense they were making in their prayer and how they wanted things to be improved for the betterment of humanity and the welfare and the the health of everyone. So when you hear that with your own ears, hey, you can't deny it. Sometimes vocabulary is hard to pick. Like when they made the 9 declarations and the 7 guides of life. No, it's not easy, you know. We translated it to German, and they did that actually in Munich. And they were like, wow, what is this? Now, how to translate, how to find the right words in German, because German is not an easy language, because every word is attached to so many types of meanings and prejudice or previous information. So anyhow, they did that. I didn't read the German one, to tell you the truth. I didn't personally. You have it, Patti? You have the translation of the Certifikat in German, which you have it.
I have just English.
Huh?
I have just English version. Yeah. English I have.
No, we also made German translation with our friends in. You have it. Please print it out for me. I never read it in German. Anyhow, so the translation of all these things are very essential, you know. If you want a certain thing to become alive, you have to work. And when you work, then you will be criticized. Oh, why did you say this? Why did you put it that way? So it's not an all-in-easy job. But some other, we are following our inspirations, and we're doing this work. And we're continuing doing this work, and what will come from it, that will be a very interesting thing. What will come in the future, my friend? Please tell me. I wish I could give you a clear idea what is the right thing to do at the right moment. But sometimes we simply may not know, and we're following the intuition. We're following the intuition of what we can rely on. And for my own feeling, I just want to tell you, I'm going back to India tomorrow, and I'm going in the middle of many, many extreme interfaces. One of them very extreme, it'll be in the midst of the Hindus in Bangladesh. I have a 10-day lecture program in Bangladesh addressing many, many thousands of Hindus there about how to create harmony and how to establish what we consider futuristic worldview in their realm, which is very tough now because there's lots of violence going on. Hindu-Muslim violence is very much alive in Bangladesh. And I didn't choose that. It was imposed upon me that I have to go there and do this job. And then we are also coming together with the interreligious platform of Mumbai, which they are just now moved to Delhi. Anyhow, all this is like, there's a Chaitanya Mela. First I'm going to Chaitanya Mela. On Sunday will be major presentations of Chaitanya Mela and Chaitanya Mela. This is with Gopananda Bon Maharaj. We will be there. We have on the 6th, we have the Vishma Vaishnav Raj Sabha meeting. Historically, the first time in the history, inside the Bagbazar Gaudiya Math. This is so much historical. Of course, only a Gaudiya Math knowledgeable person can understand what that means to have a Vishma Vaishnava Raj Sabha meeting in the Bagbazar Gaudiya Math in the Chaitanya Museum facility. That is so revolutionary and wonderful, but it's another track. In my own life, I'm going on so many tracks. I'm going on the Vishva Vaishnava Raj Shabbat track. I'm going in the Vrinda Mission track. I'm in the United Nations of the Spirit track. I'm in the Vishva Hindu Parishad track. I'm in the environmental track. I'm in the interreligious communication track. So I sometimes have to switch from one track to the other, which means I have to change my vocabulary. I have to change my printing materials, which I am managing. It's a bit too much, but anyhow, it has come to be that way. Just like when you give a class here in the morning to the devotees, you're on one track. When the school comes and you're giving an introduction class into Hinduism to a school, you have to move on a different track. But in that track, it's very interesting, and also we can bring into the picture Vishva Vaishnava Raj Sabha and Vishva Hindu Parishad. Both of them are supportive tracks of the public work with schools, etc., etc. So, somehow or other in our life, the track means concern. I'm concerned with you, I'm concerned with this particular group of people. And this concern, this deep concern, makes me separate my other mental involvements and concentrate on this. Track means concentration of service. Just like a doctor, he changes from one patient to the other. He's immediately on a different track. Each patient is a different track because each patient's conditions is different. So he has to have that ability to switch from track to track and be totally concentrated on this one. Can you imagine he's treating him with thinking of the other? He may give the wrong medication and everything wrong because he's not on his track. This happens sometimes. And medications, and even people were pushed into the operation room for operations which they don't need. The operation was for somebody else. This is how bad it can get, you know, when you mix up the tracks. So here we are praying to Hari Kirtan, to this great message of Mahaprabhu, that we may be staying on the right track. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu says, this is a definition of Kirtan. Namali lagunadinam uchair basatu kirtana. Kirtana is defined as loudly chanting the glories of the Lord, beginning with the names, pastimes and qualities of Krishna. Well, that's a very clear understanding, clear instruction by Rupa Goswami. Sarvatu bhavena kirtana sankirtana. Sri Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati commentary on Shikshastakam says, Sankirtan means complete kirtan, or in other words, kirtan that is performed in full knowledge of Sambandha and completely free from anarthas and aparadas. Here it gets tough. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the kirtan will be only good and substantial if we have no bad habits and no offenses harboring within us. Therefore, those who are sectarian, they cannot do fully the kirtan spirit, because they're saying, I love God and His devotees of my clan. I love God and His devotees of my clan. But saying of my clan, he's excluding the others, and that is an aparat. So he's not getting the same result. So therefore it's very, very important not to be sectarian if we want to get the real result. That is Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. Then, Bahubir militva kirtayeti sankirtan. When we meet together and chant, this is known as Sankirtana. Japato harinamani stane sata gunadika atmanam cha punati uchair japo shrotrim punati cha brihat naradiya purana. So it's already there. The Vedas, they all support the same. A person who chants Sri Harinam loudly is 100 times superior to one who chants quietly. The person who chants quietly only benefits and purifies himself, whereas one who chants loudly also benefits and purifies all who hear him, such as animals, insects, birds, trees, and creepers. Such entities cannot chant, but they can be delivered from the ocean of birth and death simply by hearing this Harinam. Wow! My God! That is a Harinam Sankirtan support sentence. So here we stop this morning because we still have many other things to do, and I just wish you good Hari Kirtan, great Hari Kirtan, eternal Hari Kirtan. This lifetime, next lifetime, all lifetimes Hari Kirtan. Go sing your way back to home, back to God. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, all devotees who are listening to us. Hari Kirtan to you. Hari